Ladies and gents, welcome back. Good morning. Another beautiful day out here. It's getting a little chilly, kind of like fall's coming, but yeah, got the other Daytona up on the lift. Gonna take off a few parts off that thing to list on eBay. And my neighbor from up the street is bringing down, he has 3 quads, but I'm only gonna do one at a time. And he has a kid's quad he's gonna bring down, and we'll see how that goes. This is always awesome. Looks like we had a little resident living in the exhaust. Should have been charging that little guy rent. All right, we'll see how this one goes. Power washer number 3. The first one lasted a really long time, but the last one only lasted about 2 minutes. So we'll see if we can get a little bit longer than 2 minutes out of this guy. So the last one they gave me definitely was a send back, because this one is a little bit more orderly and actually fits in the box. So that's a good sign. Well, just giving this little thing a bath before we get too far into it. Yeah, that sucks. That's definitely a nest. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Much better, much better. But if you look down in there, the paint is coming off the engine and there's some corrosion. And if I was to guess, it's probably because of the urine from that mouse nest, which is unfortunate because they can really do some damage with just that urine. And then this little guy is just chilling out here. So I don't know what they got going on. To give you a little idea what we got going on here, I took off the front rack already, but got to take off the back rack because the plastics are all one piece and the carburetor is buried down in there. So easiest thing to do is just go ahead and take off the racks, take off the plastic. Pretty far into her now, but just getting the bodywork off, and you can see the carbs down in there. This body is a one-piece design, and they do it this way because they never expect you to work on it. When it breaks, you're supposed to throw it away, because it's Chinese. But yeah, we're gonna have to take the handlebars off, have to take all the stuff off, and try to get this front part off, because I really don't want to work around that just to get to the carburetor. Not to mention, we need to figure out how to do a little alignment. This thing was wrecked and the wheels are a little bit bent. So this is another horrible design. The thumb throttle, there's only one bolt and it won't just come off without taking the grip off. So I'm going to have to take the cable out. That is a bummer. They just don't want to make it easy to work on this thing. Well, we got some missing electrical parts, and I just pulled out the oil stick. If the camera will focus, my goodness, that's not what you want to see. Well, how about that? She's a runner. I figured out the wiring. This plug was buried in there. It was unplugged. So, a little bit of that, a little splash of gas, a little splash of carb cleaner. Alright, so we got a runner, but now it is time to address these front wheels. This wheel is way cocked over. So, got in here, loosen that guy, loosen this guy up, and we're going to try and pull it back in. And you're actually supposed to have a little bit of toe in, I believe they call it, Check it out. So picked up a new battery, got it filling up. All right, so got the new battery in, got the front end aligned. It is running and riding, but it's not running good enough. It doesn't want to idle. It rides around fine, but it doesn't want to idle, which means we're gonna have to pull the carb off and clean it. Should be pretty simple. Let's dig in. All right, this is the old carb here, and these things come off pretty easy. Pop off the slide there. A couple bolts here, a little filter bolt. Choke is there. Pretty straightforward. The inside of the carb is actually pretty clean and pretty simple. I'm gonna pull out the jets and we'll shoot some carb cleaner through there while we're in here, but yeah, not too bad. So she's a runner, but we still need to adjust the carburetor. And the way that you do that is this screw right here, you're gonna wanna screw it all the way in and then back it out 2 turns. And then this is your idle screw here. So you can turn up the idle, turn down the idle. Basically, you just want it to get the highest RPM out of this and then adjust the idle from there. Kind of interesting here, I decided to go ahead and do the oil change. Not a ton of oil in there. These things hold about a quart, so that might help. Runs pretty good. If you look real close there, I drilled a nice little hole. Then I modified my long screwdriver, if it'll focus, and had to do a little grinding to it. But this fits nicely in there, and we're able to tune the carburetor with the body on, because I had the thing running good on the fuel bottle and I don't know what happened. I put the body on and it wasn't running as good. So rather than take all the racks and everything back off, I said, well, we'll just give it a little drill and see what happens. Like I was saying earlier about the tuning, you want to do 2 screws out and then adjust the idle a little bit and play with the screw and get it to idle high and then adjust from there. Well, but she's a runner and it rides. I rode it around, even with 200 pounds of me on it, it goes. So gotta do a couple more little things. Gonna lube the chain, go over everything, make sure it's nice and tight as it's gonna get. This thing was crashed before, so everything's a little cattywampus. Normally, that is not something that we work on, but because it's for the neighbor, and I'm a neighborly kind of guy, and he's got a few other quads that need done that are not Chinese, I decided to take it on. Yeah, they're pretty simple, pretty straightforward. The problem is they're so cheap that, you know, if there's anything really wrong with them, it's not worth fixing them. But yeah, as always, thanks for tuning in. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe while you're here, and we'll see you on the next one.